What's the first thing that comes to mind when you think of music? Beethoven? Beethoven. Kanye West? Kanye West. Monkeys banging on sticks and rocks? Monkeys. The Gummy Bear album? I'm a gummy bear. All of these people consider to be the finest art a human can make. But there's always one genre that gets left out. Video game music. Wait. You gotta trust me on this one. Some of the best music I know is from video games. My Spotify playlist is full of way more Sonic the Hedgehog than I would like to admit. Some of the best art is art that has context and story behind it, and video games are full of that. When you first crash land in any Metroid game, Samus is usually stripped of all of her equipment. You're on an alien planet, completely powerless. Even the smallest bug kills you in like 2 hits. The whole research team is now a strawberry milkshake, and the only choice you have is to go deeper into the planet. Then you fight this giant dragon guy, this thing that will suck out your brains, and whatever this thing is. And if you barely defeat them by the skin of your teeth, you're rewarded with an item. And if you manage to do this enough times, the tide of the game completely changes.
Samus is under fire. She sent an emergency directive. Join the fight.
Yeah, remember that one annoying enemy you died to like 5 times? One shot. Now instead of being in danger, I am the danger. Instead of prey, you're now the predator. And with all this power, you're able to burst through the planet and make just a narrow escape. I'm sorry, but that's not an easy feeling to replicate. Take notes. Music adds so much not only to the game, but to the character. I think one character that represents this perfectly is
Sonic the Hedgehog, one of the greatest and most attractive characters ever thought up.
I know. Wait. Sonic is known for 3 things: being fast, being cool, and having some pretty bad games. With fire music. And some other things I don't want to talk about.
Number 10. Try this question on for size. Who chases and hugs Sonic all the time and wields a powerful hammer? Why, it's Amy Rose, of course. Though more of a cutie than a hottie, you can't deny the fact that she's still attractive.
Even some of his worst games have the best music. I challenge you to find any Sonic game that doesn't have at least one fire track. It's always the first level where they cook the hardest. Sonic Colors, Sonic Adventure 1, Sonic Unleashed, and the best one of all, and the only reason this video is even created, is Sonic Adventure 2.
Attention all units. Suspect seen heading south. Block all major roads and capture the suspect.
Nothing is more iconic to Sonic's character than this. It's performed by Crush 40, a real band. So by all means, this is real music. But you might say, well, this doesn't have any real fans that would show up to a concert, right? Well, someone clearly hasn't heard of the Sonic Symphony performance. Look how many people show up to this, and they all know the lyrics to the song. It doesn't stop here though. Sonic Boom, Sonic Heroes, Supersonic Racing, I can go band for band with my Sonic music. My favorite game ever is Super Mario Galaxy. Mario music has always been this happy-go-lucky, lighthearted theme. But when they were making Galaxy, they needed to capture the infinite and grand possibilities of space, something the series and video games as a whole had never really tried to capture before. The whole reason I have pursued music in my life was created in 2007 to such critical and commercial success that it is considered not only one of the greatest games of all time, but according to some, the greatest video game soundtrack ever made. So as fast as they could, they worked on the sequel Super Mario Galaxy 2 in a very rushed and limited time. So the guys from Nintendo walk into the room and they ask my boy, Mahito Yokota, can you make something for the first level of Mario Galaxy 2? You know, it doesn't have to be anything too crazy, and really, if anything, you could just reuse music from the first game. We don't have to make anything original. So, you know, if you come up with anything good, just let us know. He says, okay, and he walks in the next day with a couple of his buddies and plays this. And the guy at Nintendo is like, wow. And then he says, well, what about Yoshi?
Yes!
And then he hops out of Yoshi and is like, and then he's like, well, do you have one for the starship? And then out of nowhere, one of Yokota's buddies just pulls out a violin and is like, and then some goddess pulls out a magic harp for the water level. How many did you make? Surely you don't have one for Bowser. And then the guy at Nintendo was like, okay, you're done, right? Nope. And now the Nintendo guy is freaking out, and he says, don't tell me you have the final boss fight as well. And so Yokota brings out a whole choir. And as this poor Nintendo employee's soul is floating away to heaven from what he just heard, Yokota gets one last idea and proceeds to drop the greatest musical piece to ever exist.